How to start at the gym as a beginner. And what I want to do is give you, 5 pro tips on how to get started at the gym. Tonight was legs, so we did squat focus. We did some accessory workouts with leg curls, leg extensions, leg abductions, adductions. We got our ab workout in, we got our cardio in, so it's definitely a solid workout tonight. I want to start doing some more progressive overloading when it comes to my squat and leg presses. I feel like I've kind of hit a plateau, so I might need to focus a little less on volume, a little more on overload. But tonight I want to present you with a topic on something that some of you may want to know. And that is how to start at the gym as a beginner. And what I want to do is give you, 5 pro tips on how to get started at the gym. These are going to be in no particular order. Of course, there's plenty of other tips when it comes to beginning at the gym, but I really want this video to be of value to those of you that might either be, beginners to the gym. Maybe you had a bad experience at the gym when you were a beginner, kind of want to refresh, or maybe you haven't been to the gym for a while and almost feel like you're beginning all over again. So I really hope that these 5 tips can bring some value to you when it comes to getting back into the gym. But the first one is certainly going to be stay consistent. I think you have to really just kind of forget about the immediate results that you might be getting. And just keep in mind that with consistency is going to come that progress. I think you really, in a way, really have to forget the scale, forget the tape measures, forget what you see in the mirror, and just really be consistent with your workouts. Diet also being just as important, if not more important, when it comes to your workouts. But that in and of itself kind of leads into the second tip, and that is going to be to keep it simple. Unfortunately, the one thing that I think I see a lot of beginners making mistakes at the gym is that they either make up these exercises, or there's so much information when it comes to workouts, especially on social media. And I think as a beginner, sometimes you don't know what's right, what's wrong. And I think you really have to just take it down and simplify it to the core. I think it's really important that you avoid trying to make things way too complex, especially as you're beginning. I think you really just have to make those small baby steps in terms of your progress. So really keep it simple. That leads into now tip number 3. And that is going to be a 3-day split. And what I mean by split, which I've spoken about before in some of my previous videos, I'm currently on a 6-day split, but that is because I'm more of an intermediate lifter than I would be as a beginner. As a beginner, I think it would likely be a benefit to you if you did a 3-day split. So you could do a push day, you could do a pull day, and you do leg days. So for your push days, you can incorporate chest exercises, tricep, as well as shoulder. Your pull days, you can incorporate bicep and back. And then on your leg days, really just primarily focusing on leg exercises between squats, leg press, leg curls, leg extensions, abductions, adductions. And going into the second point that I presented to you with keeping it simple, keep those exercises simple between those splits. Don't get too advanced, don't complicate things. I think at that point you either start getting really confused or you start making mistakes. Really what you want to focus on the entire time also is going to be your range of motion and your posture. Forget about maxing out weight. Forget about increasing it as quickly as possible. Stop the ego lifting. Get rid of all that. You just want to focus on your form. Focus on the tension that you're applying to your muscles, and focus on initially those simple exercises. Your biceps could literally just be as simple as a few bicep curls. Put in 3 sets, 12 reps each. at a lighter weight that you're more comfortable with, and then progressively overload it. The following week, when you feel stronger, do a little more weight. But don't make the mistake of applying too much weight too quickly. It sets you back, it stalls you, and then you start to lose some motivation. So 3-day split, I think that would really work as a beginner lifter. Keep the workouts extremely simple. And that goes into kind of the fourth tip in a way. As you're keeping these exercises simple, you also want to incorporate cardio. That also doesn't really need to be difficult as well. You could get on an elliptical, set the incline to about 10 degrees, start your speed out at about 2.0, see how your conditioning is as you do that. Do that 20-30 minutes depending on what your goal might be in terms of weight loss. You can get on a Stairmaster, set it to level 5, do that for 20-30 minutes. Again, see how your conditioning is, and increase or decrease as needed, but you do not want to forget the cardio. Establishing, your metabolism in terms of increasing that as you're also generating that muscle, which in muscle is going to burn, resting calories much quicker than it would be with cardio, but it's important to incorporate that cardio. There's so many benefits, cardiovascular strength, the fat loss, all of that's going to be incorporated into those workouts as well. And going into tip number 5, and the final tip, track your progress. I did mention before, throw away the scale and the tape measure, all of that, but you definitely want to know where you've started and where you're going. So in terms of tracking your progress, I think it's more important to track your exercises, track the weights that you're using, and then just in terms of your diet, tracking that as well. So fantastic app that I use for my diet is MyFitnessPal. I'm not sponsored by them by any means, but it's a wonderful app that you can go into, set your goals in terms of what you want to accomplish. Take a log of your daily intake in terms of what you eat, and then it gives you the opportunity to track those macros. And I am by no means a nutritionist, so I really don't want to give you any nutritional advice, but maybe someday I will kind of go into what I eat in a day, how I incorporate my meals into tracking into MyFitnessPal, and how you log that in order to see your progress, because I think without that you might be shocked to know what your macronutrients might be, what calories you're intaking on a daily basis, so that you can make some adjustments as necessary, especially. In terms of tracking your workouts, you certainly want to see some progress. And without doing that, especially, you can take your phone. I do it. I put my notes. I use my note app in my phone, and that's where I track all of my workouts. So I don't track necessarily every workout on a daily basis anymore, but I do track my progressive overload goals in terms of some of my max weight with certain exercises. I keep a log of what exercises I have. It's almost like a schedule. Last exercise was upper chest, so this next exercise is going to middle chest, and then the next one is going to be lower chest. I have to log those things, otherwise I really have no strategy when it comes to being in the gym and maintaining that type of progress. So I think that's also just as important as any of the other goals. So to kind of repeat and to motivate you to get in the gym, take that step, take these 5 really simple tips with you, and just keep them in consideration as you move forward. Again, I'm probably missing some that might be just as valuable to anybody that might be starting in the gym as a beginner, but remember, stay consistent. Keep it simple. Start with a 3-day split. Don't forget cardio, and track your progress. I would love to have some comments about those of you that might be getting started in the gym as a beginner, or those of you that might have had a bad experience as a beginner, want a refresher. or even those that haven't been in the gym in a while, want to get back into it and might feel like a beginner. But I want to see those comments. Let's get motivated. Let's go.